So this is what, in other ways, some people sold their relatives for.
Yes.
And then
Exactly.
And then after they got this, they have to sell other people for the gunpowder.
Yes.
Because they didn't have the gunpowder. They have the gun without the gunpowder.
Yes.
So they sold others for the gunpowder. So that they can use this. What do they use it for? To just hunt.
Yeah, hunting and war.
And war. So at war,
Tribal war.
You can only shoot one.
Yes, once.
To kill one person.
You shoot only one. No,
they have to
if you load it and there are about 5 people standing, you can kill about 3 of them.
Okay.
Depends about how you gauge it. Like you see,
the bullet spreads.
Yes, spread.
As we are on the journey to discover the slave history, there is one that I'm sure a lot of you have never heard of it. Hi everybody, welcome to the end. As we are on the journey to discover the slave history, the rooms, the routes that our ancestors used and all that, today there is one that I'm sure a lot of you have never heard of it, because personally, when I realized there's something here, I was shocked. So today, I'm in Sesame in Greater Accra region. A book will be just under the Ebri Mountain. And there is a fort here called Fort Frederiksgave, right? So I'm here in Sesame. I'm going to meet the Jasingene Nana Ni Akoto. Yeah, I'm going to meet the Jasingene Ni Akoto. And he's going to tell us about a lot of the history that is like the missing link between the north and the south. So today, that's what we are going to discover. So follow me as I go to the house of the Jasihine in Sesame. Yeah. So, oh, I'll go.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Okay, thank you.
You are welcome to an ancient village, slave village of Sesame. You are welcome to this old ancient village.
Okay.
It was a slave village. You are most welcome.
Thank you.
Let's hear from you, the reason why you are here.
Well, like you just said, the ancient slave village, right? The oldest, maybe in the Greater Accra region, I'm sure. And one of the most important parts that I believe connect the stories from the north, Salaga, Picoro, everything to the coast. So, especially the coast, like the castles in Accra and all that. So, I think that's why I'm here. Like, I just want to know some of the events that took place here.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Wago Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Ago Chame, one equation. Ago Chame, one equation. Ago Cha Umanyaba. Cha Umanyaba. You were fair what we could be. Cha Umanyaba. Imagine your way. Keshkon fair. Yeradon Akamene Ebaninawo. Ni Wabi ne Eba. Amiko Bagba Sesame. Babuti Sesame history be. One Danish, Akebile Ebaninawo. Wahimoka Iliji, Lofeno Bano Jupa Ehanwo. Twa, no Manyaba. You are most welcome.
Thank you.
Now, if you have come, this is an old, ancient village. It used to be a slave village during the Goku's era. This place was acquired by the Danes. There was a big farm covering Abokobi. He covered Abokobi up to Teman area. Bongpo was a big area. And they cultivated coffee trees, tobacco, medicinal trees, citrus fruits, pineapple, medicinal pineapple. It's similar to that of Western region. You see, they are not big.
Okay.
But theirs were medicinal.
Okay.
They planted all over here. The reason why they did that was they thought the weather would be favorable to them to export the tobacco and export the coffee.
The coffee.
Yeah, that was the main reason of establishing.
Okay.
And then the citrus fruit and the other foodstuffs and all this to feed the slaves, and themselves. So it was happening here. It was later on decided that they should build a house.
Okay.
On the plantation.
On the plantation.
On the plantation.
Okay.
Now, who work on the plantation? We had people who work on the plantation. We call them enslaved workers.
Enslaved workers.
Enslaved workers.
Okay.
They were the master slaves.
The enslaved workers.
Enslaved were the master slaves. Look, we had 3 types of slavery.
Okay.
3 types of slavery. The enslaved workers, they were master slaves.
Okay.
They were professionals. We could be a mason, but you could be a supervisor in masonry work. You could be a carpenter, but you could be a supervisor in the carpentry work.
Okay.
So those people, they bought them and made them masters here, masters of the slaves. So they controlled.
Okay, so if I'm getting it right, they bought slaves,
Yes.
trained them, or they were already trained.
Most of them were already trained.
Already trained.
Yes.
And then they made them masters of other slaves.
Yes, they made them masters to cater for the farm. Originally to cater for the farm.
Okay. Okay.
And they planted the trees, and then those citrus, these medicinal trees, they planted them.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
And each worker was entitled for, you were to look after 1,000 coffee trees, interplanted with other crops.
Other crops.
And they were paid.
Okay.
They were given clothes. They were fed.
Okay.
So they were masters.
Okay.
They were. After I told, we have 3 different types of slaves.
Different types of slaves.
Now, let's come to the second type.
Okay.
The second type of slaves were those who were brought through captured war, through war and captured. They were brought here. Those who were sold by their mothers and fathers
Were also brought here.
were brought here.
Okay.
You see? Why? They were to be shipped to the other places, American this in.
Okay.
You know, they had their islands.
Yes.
Croats and this in Croats and other. This I have forgotten the other day.
Okay.
Send them to their islands for work.
For work. Okay.
Yeah. Now we had another type of slavery. Those were slaves who served in people's homes.
Okay. Like domestic slaves.
Domestic slaves.
Okay.
Like the Basel. You know, the Basel. I can make Abokobi as an example. Abokobi mission, the Basel missions, they were having slaves among them who were not sent outside.
Okay.
They served the mission, the Basel.
So I want to ask a question. Was those people serving the Basel mission, were they also brutalized or they were just integrated into the Basel system, and then they had a comfortable life.
They had a comfortable life, but it will depend on how you behave yourself.
Okay.
Because you were doing household activities.
Okay. So like in other ways, they were house boys to the missionaries.
Yes.
House boys and house girls.
Yes.
And those things
Yes.
to the missionaries.
Yes.
But then they were acquired through the slavery.
Yes, through the slavery.
Okay.
That's why I told 3 types.
So they were
Those who served
the domestic slavery.
domestic slavery.
Okay.
And then those who went away.
As a commercial
Yes, commercial this way. And then
the
those enslaved ones.
We are the slave masters.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
the slave masters.
Okay. All right. So would you like to take us round to this place, to the fort, and show us the route, some of the activities that happen here?
I'll show you.
Okay.
I'll gladly do that. I'll gladly do that because slaves brought from the north, from Ashanti region, they all passed through here. Those who were bought from the hinterland, they all passed through here.
Okay.
Those who were bought at the coastal side didn't pass here.
Didn't pass here.
Keta side and all these things, they didn't pass here.
Okay.
But those from the hinterland, they passed
They
here.
passed here.
So I'll gladly get up
Okay.
and then show you. But before that, when the Danes came, when they acquired the land, they detected that there was a small stream, a cave, and the name is Source of Hope.
Source of
Hope.
Source of hope.
They named the river Source of Hope.
Okay. Why?
People were coming from far places to come and fetch it. They said it was a spiritual river. It's a small, it flows into the sea. It joins other tributaries. We have other bigger rivers around. We have Mambang there. We have Dakubi there at Mokpo side. It joins them to the sea.
Okay.
They form the Odo River.
Odo River.
Odona.
Odona.
Onudang.
Yes, Odona.
Odona.
Yeah, well, I know the popular Odona circle. Around circle.
A circle,
Yes.
Odona. They form the river
Okay.
Odo over there. They join rivers from Medina area and all these things.
Okay.
Through Hachu. Transition.
Yeah.
Hachu transition. They form
Okay.
the Odo River. Now the name is Source of Hope. And they use that river to build this fort. They use that river to feed the slaves. They use that river to bath the slaves.
Okay. So in other ways, just like we have the Asen Manso slave bath
Yes.
through the River Kra,
Yes.
those who came through this area, they had a slave bath here.
Yes.
Wow.
We have one here, then one at Pongpo.
Okay.
And they planted tamarind trees. Tamarind trees.
Okay.
When you get to Pongpo, they are there. But when we were constructing our road, in 1974, they
Cut off
okay. them.
Where is Pompo far from here?
No, it's not far.
Okay.
Pongpo is not far
Okay.
from here. You get them there, you see the tamarind tree lined up. Lined up. So now, let me come to Sesame. The slaves here were those who were to be, who were to work on the farm, on the plantation.
Okay.
So they were kept here. On these buildings, there were about 10 of these buildings. And then 20 of these buildings were built. When you were coming from Abukobi, you see that you curved.
Yes.
From Abukobi, you curved before coming.
Yes.
The area there is called Dwaben. Dwaben Omudiwa.
Okay.
What type of market was going on there?
Dwaben.
Dwaben. This was no community. Dwaben was a small community at that time because it was a market area. So people were asking, what type of market was going on there? It was in Dwaben because it was a fearful area.
It was a fearful area.
It was a fearful area.
What made it fearful?
What is making fearful? Slaves? Slaves were sent there. Slaves from the north, Ashanti, were there. If you brought your child there, couldn't it be sold?
Yeah,
Couldn't it be sold?
they could.
Or if you got there on your own, what? As you are doing your research work, unfortunately you fall into their maze. Can't you be captured?
Wow.
So it was
then it was a very strong syndicate.
Yes. It was a fearful area. Small community, but it was a fearful area.
Wow.
So people were asking what type of market was going on there. Dwaben or Mudiwo.
So then let me ask, you know there is Dwaben in Koforidua?
Yes, I know. Ashanti there Dwaben, new Dwaben. I know.
So everywhere Dwaben is, it means that it was a slave market.
Well, I can't say that. I don't know their history. I don't know. I don't know.
But this Dwaben,
this
Dwaben was a slave market.
Yes. We are not trees. We are not accounts. Why Dwaben? We are guns.
Okay.
Why Dwaben?
Okay.
Yeah. Why Dwaben? So people coming from other areas, there were other tribes coming. Where could we go to get water to drink? Where could we go to get water to drink? Where could we go to quench the thirst? The guns among them will say, Nebobaya Wami was sent to quench the thirst. Like, Nebobaya Wami was sent. Yeah. Where can we go and quench the thirst? Me, as I'm saying, you can't speak as I'm saying in pure gun. Iya means sin. Iya means sin. It tends to Sesame.
Okay.
I'm telling you the meaning of Sesame. If somebody tells you Sesame is Sesame, or what? That seed, that's what it is, sesame seed.
Sesame seed.
It's not true. It's not true. I'm doing all this to correct those false history that people are giving. It's not sesame. It's not sesame seed. It's sesame. I'm going to quench the thirst. It's referred to the river source of hope.
Source of hope.
Source of hope.
Okay.
So let's go to source of hope and quench the thirst. And the other tribe turn it sesame. I've told you the meaning of sesame.
Yes.
To quench the thirst.
To quench the thirst.
So we can go round.
Okay. Wow. This is very interesting. Hey, I walk faster than you.
Hey, I walk faster than you because I'm doing cultural this thing. I'm 75, but I'm 75 now.
Okay. I see.
So, all this place, there wasn't any community here. It was all plantation.
Plantation. Coffee, plantation.
Coffee, tobacco,
pineapple,
citrus fruit, oranges, and all these things. When I say citrus fruit,
orange, tangerine,
all inclusive, all inclusive.
Okay.
And they work here. They work here. They work here. But that's the route.
This is the route.
As we are going, yes, that's the route. When we get to the top, I'll show you.
Okay.
And the route start from the northern region to Kumasi, Ashanti region, through Koforidua side, through Manfin, through Aburi, to Ketase Pedrasi Lodge.
Ketase Pedrasi Lodge.
Yes. Then it branched to Brekusu. Then from Brekusu, the route just behind this.
Behind the fort.
Yes.
Then it comes here.
It comes here. From Brekusu, it comes here. Then from here, it will take you to Akpoman boy. Akpoman.
Okay.
From Akpoman, it will take you to Ablaje. From Ablaje, it will take you to Agboba Cemetery Junction.
Okay.
I don't know whether you know Agboba.
Agboba Cemetery Junction.
Yes, it will take you there. Then from Agboba Cemetery Junction, it will take you to Kiseman side, Jimpa,
okay.
Jimpa area.
Okay.
It will lead you to Caprice. I'm showing the same route.
Okay.
Now, from Caprice, it will take you to Makola.
Makola market.
Makola.
Yes.
You say Makola. Can you take blood?
Makola.
Makola. Can you take blood? Can you take blood?
Okay.
It's Makola.
Makola.
La. I'm coming to fetch
Blood.
oh no. I'm coming to take fire.
Fire.
Like this.
Okay.
I'm coming. Olu. My mother says I should come for fire.
Okay.
Me Makola.
Okay.
I'm coming for fire, not blood.
Not blood.
So it is Makola.
Makola.
Not Makola.
Ah. Okay.
Like Sesame.
Okay.
Mami Senu tend to Sesame.
Okay.
Makola attend to Makola.
Ah.
Now from Makola, it will take you to Kuku Hill, Osukuku Hill.
Osukuku Hill.
Osukuku Hill.
Okay.
Where the Presbyterian headquarters is.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
Then from there to descend to Ebenezer Church, Osu Presby Church proper.
Osu Presby Church proper.
Then it leads you to local road to the castle.
To the castle. From local road to the castle.
Yes.
Okay. What about the Salaga market in the Jamestown?
No, it's not related to this.
Okay, they don't have this route. Okay.
It's not related to
this route.
This route. It's
So for
different.
this route. Okay. Now I get it. So they are going to the Christian Ball Castle,
Yes,
the Danes
yes.
Castle.
I told you, those who were born from the coast never pass here.
Okay.
Those from the hinterland pass here.
Passed here.
But the coastal side people didn't
never
pass
pass
here.
Okay.
So that is the story.
Wow.
That is the story.
It's very interesting.
So they built. This is how, if you look on this structure, you see drawings there,
Yes.
some drawings there. How the slaves were treated.
Okay.
How they were treated. They were in chains. Okay. Now, these are some examples of the buildings or the structures they put up.
Okay.
But it wasn't original.
Okay. This is not the original structure.
No,
just
it
put
collapsed. It
okay.
collapsed. It's
That
collapsed.
is how they look like.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
There were about 10 of them here
Wow.
to house the enslaved workers. They control, as I told you, they control the plantation.
Okay.
The bigger this thing. And each of them was to take care of 1,000 coffee trees. 1,000 coffee trees. So they slept here,
Okay.
men and women.
So the slaves slept here, men here,
Men and
here.
women, men and women. The structures were about 10. So
Okay.
the women were at the other side, the men were at
another side.
Another side.
Okay.
Yeah. And we had 10, 12. We'll see the figure at
Okay,
the top when
at
we
the
get
top,
to
okay.
this.
Because this actually answers a lot of my questions, because you always know it happened in the south, they went there, and then sometimes you think of from Salaga, like they said, the people passed through, like, they came here, but I never knew the route, like from Koforidua to Pediasi and all that to
That's the route.
other side. Yeah.
That's the route.
Okay, this is the route.
Yeah, that's the route.
The footpath.
The footpath. The footpath. Just it goes behind this. That's the route.
So I can walk on this footpath to Pediasi.
Exactly, to Brekusu. But now people are encroached.
And they are building on,
yes.
build on it.
But if you are going to Brekusu,
Okay. So you walk here to Brekusu.
you walk here to Brekusu. Then you
from
join
Brekusu,
the Ayim Road.
Ayim Road to Pediasi.
To Ketasi.
Ketasi.
To Ketasi.
Okay.
That was the route.
I see.
That was the route. That was the route. And these, as I told you, these were where they call this African house.
African house.
Yeah. That was where they stayed.
Okay.
And they built 20 of these down at Dufe. Yes.
The African house.
Yes.
20.
20 down
Dufe.
but here they were about 10.
There are about 10 here.
There were about 10 here. When we get here, Then we can go to other side.
Okay.
So females were staying at the other side. Males too were staying at
the
other
other
side.
Okay.
And you could see samples
Of their wares.
how they pounded their fufu.
Okay.
You can see how they constructed their bed. Good.
They use the clay to construct
Yes, this bed. They do this, then they put
wood on
it, and then mat.
Okay.
This palm leaf.
Palm leaves.
Yeah, you have to do it, and then they put it on it.
Wow.
They slept on it.
Let me take a picture. So about how many people were in a room?
Oh, those were about, it could be about 5, I can't be specific.
Okay.
But you see examples how they prepared the fufu.
Yes.
And then
Cooking pot.
they kept water.
Okay.
Water.
They used to keep.
Bigger
There's
one.
the big. Okay.
And then they had what they use for cooking.
For cooking.
The small ones we use for cooking. This one was used to keep water.
Okay.
Water.
Okay.
This served as administrative block. We were able to reconstruct this.
Okay.
But you can see the remains of their buildings.
Which is this one?
Yes, you could see their remains. You see, so many years, so it collapsed.
Okay.
So we had to reconstruct
it.
We couldn't do all.
Couldn't do all, but you've done a lot.
Yeah. Now, all that I'm telling you, you'll see them here. An overview of the site, the plan and everything.
Yeah.
I was telling you, we had a slave village. The slave village, as I was telling you.
Yes.
You see everything there. Now, Frederiksgave, the royal Danish plantation on the Gold Coast. You see everything there. And the building itself was constructed in 1831, but it was commissioned in 1832.
1832. Okay.
I told you it was built by King Frederick VI.
Yes.
And he built it as a gift.
As a gift.
To the governor.
To the governor.
In their language, Gave means gift.
Gift.
Gave means gift. So Frederiksgave.
King Frederick's gift.
Gift.
Okay.
Now, I told you about wherever you see Keta and other pram.
Yes.
You see them here.
This is Frederiksborg.
You see them there.
And then Kogenstein. Where is Kogenstein?
You see them. You see them.
This is Kogenstein in Keta.
I told you when you get here, you see Keta.
This one will be in Togo. I'm not sure this will be in Ghana because this will be in Togo, I'm sure. Okay.
So the plantations, the green ones will show you where the plantations were.
So the Danish
plantations, you see them.
So this is Osberg in Tishi.
And this is
Christianborg in Osu. And then we are in which Frederiksgave, which was the plantation. So I'm sure it's this area. Okay, this is it Frederiksgave or I can't even find here. But then it's quite clear. Yeah.
It was throughout the country, Gold Coast, throughout.
Yes.
It came to a time the whole building collapsed, got to this stage.
Okay.
In the 1980s.
Okay.
In the 1980s, overgrown trees. It's overgrown trees. So the top collapsed, remaining this. So it was Dr. Breja Mensan. He was an archaeologist at Legon University.
Okay.
So he came and said, "Oh, look, I could help you to rebuild it."
Okay.
So he went to Denmark to seek support from
Danish
Augustinus Foundation.
Okay.
So he came through the assistance of the Legon people and then Ghanaian Museum. They came and then they started
to rebuild.
Working. Yeah, to rebuild. Okay. So you could see all these things.
Yes.
They did excavation. This is a small dungeon you are talking about.
Okay.
Excavation. Then they rebuilt it. While they were doing the excavation, we were collecting some items from the ground.
Okay.
Some of them are here.
Some of them are here.
Mm-hmm. All these were collected from the soil. All these.
So these are
the pipes, the bottles were all collected from the soil. They were all collected from
testing the tobacco.
Yes.
Were they testing?
It was smoking. Where?
Wow. What's this one?
A bottle. I think it's a wine bottle.
Wine bottle. Okay.
Wine bottle.
And then there's a fork, a cup, and plates. These
were the local
manufactured ones.
Asenka.
Okay. European tableware, local made pottery, and then firearms.
The firearms. All these were collected from the soil.
Okay.
They were all collected
from. So there's the gun, the clock, right?
Yes. This is the trigger.
The trigger.
I use it to kill so many animals. It was my father's gun.
This is your father's gun?
Yes, but because students have been coming here for learning.
Okay.
When they come, they have to know what the trigger is, what you see. So I intentionally brought here.
So this is your father's gun?
Yes. But it became mine.
What's your father's name?
Nisasu.
Nisasu.
Nitetesasu.
Nitetesasu. And it became yours?
Yes.
Wow. So can I try it?
You can do. Yes.
So they put the gunpowder here.
You put the gunpowder.
And then they chalk it with the...
No, after the gunpowder, what is?
You know, there is some stick here.
It was an iron rod.
Yes.
When you put the gunpowder, what things do you do?
You put the bullet on it.
Yes. You put the bullet before you put sapo.
So after you put the sapo on it,
then you bring the
iron.
Then you
chuck it. You tuck it in for it to be. You tuck it in for it to be very.
Then you put the
trigger.
The firearm.
Okay.
You put the firearm here.
I thought you just do this and you are done.
No, you put the firearm. It's prepared with matches.
Matches.
The matches itself, and then the matchbox, we need to strike it. When you mix it, we put it into a small container, and then put it here. So immediately you put it's connected to the gunpowder.
The gunpowder. So this is what, in other ways, some people sold their relatives for.
Yes.
And then
exactly.
And then after they got this, they have to sell other people for the gunpowder.
Yes.
Because they didn't have the gunpowder. They have the gun without the gunpowder.
Yes.
So they sold others for the gunpowder. So that they can use this. What do they use it for? To just hunt.
Hunting and war. War.
So at war.
Tribal war.
You can only shoot one.
Yes, once.
To kill one person,
you shoot only once. No,
you have to
if you load it and there are about 5 people standing, you can kill about 3 of them.
Okay.
Depends about how you gauge
it.
Like you see,
the bullet spreads.
Yes, spread.
Okay. So you get. I see.
Now,
so this is what people sold people for. Are you sure your grandfather didn't sell anybody for this one?
Oh no, they made it.
Your father didn't tell you how they got it?
The original ones they used were not like this.
They were not like this. I saw some in Salaga. They were very long.
Long. When we get to the room, you see that.
Long and heavy.
You see that.
Okay.
Now, these were the monies they were using at that time. Cowrie. In the Gold Coast era, this was being used. Cowrie. We Gans, we call it trema. But the trees, accounts, they call it sidie.
Yes.
And that's where we got the currency name. Ghana currency. Cedi.
Okay.
Yes. Tree version of the sidie is the cedi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these were all discovered during the excavation?
Yes, all this. And these were the holes.
The holes.
This we call dadisen. They use in cooking.
Cooking.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, We won't come here again, so I want to finish. The last governor who stayed here, or governor, no, King Christian Gave built this fort. That is the name.
Edward James Arnold
Carstensen.
Governor from the 28th of August 1942 until he left the Gold Coast to the 18th, on the 18th of April 1850, when he had managed the cession of the Danish properties to the British governor. Reproduction from a lithograph by E.M. Barrensen. The Royal Library of Denmark. Okay.
The Danes handed over the governorship of Gold Coast to Britain on 18th April 1850. And that very day, they left the country.
They left the country.
This history you must know.
Yes.
You can take one.
I can take one. Okay.
Let's go to the top.
I just want to take a picture of this. Oh no, it's okay like this for me. I'll just. Okay. Thank you for the gift.
Okay. Now let's go to Frederiksgave itself.
But what is this one? Was this also discovered during the excavation?
No.
Okay.
Decoration. Same. You can see the crown.
Yes, that's the Danish crown.
The Danish crown.
Okay.
You can see it there. You see the 6, which means Frederiksgave. You see the R, the crown R, the 6, and then 1832.
Okay.
When it was commissioned for him.
For him. Okay.
Now, you talk about dungeon.
Dungeon.
We had a small dungeon.
Okay.
Only small.
Very small.
For only a very dangerous
slaves. Or enslaved.
No, that's not for the enslaved.
Okay.
If you are very dangerous, no ventilation, you can enter. You can enter.
So this is not for the enslaved?
No.
So it's for which people?
The slaves, if you were stubborn, the enslaved, they work on you, they control them.
Okay.
So if you were very stubborn, 1 or 2 people, they'll bring you and lock you up here.
You up here. I see. I don't want to be here for like even a minute. I don't want to be there.
Now, you see how the building was constructed.
Yes.
Though we reconstructed it, but the same way it was rebuilt on their original plan.
Okay.
When they built
the foundation was there.
Yes, so we built on it.
Okay.
Now this shows example. We intentionally left it like that.
Okay.
For you to know how it was constructed. The whole building, you could see, constructed with stones, clay, shells, limestone, no cement.
Okay.
The whole building you are seeing, no cement.
Even the one that was rebuilt?
No cement.
No cement.
How they built it, we should build it the same.
The same way.
So no cement. It was
cement.
just limestone that was used.
Okay.
And you see shells. Shells. When we start going, you see shells. Now, that is the main entrance to his room. So I can say there's a veranda.
This is the veranda.
A veranda.
Okay.
But this was a sleeping place for the governor.
The governor.
We can enter. Yeah. That's what is main, or not here alone, here and the staff.
Here and the staff.
Yes. Where they slept.
This is where they slept. Okay.
Where they slept. Now, I made mention of enslaved workers.
Yes.
You can read yourself.
The list below of the enslaved workers at Frederiksgave, go back a little, let me read. Frederiksgave, made by a Danish official, tell us the names, sex, and ethnic affiliation of each slave apart from the adjoining land of Frederiksgave. The Danish state in 1831 purchased 10 named male slaves, 12 female slaves, and 10 pawn slaves at a total sum of 1,190 Rex dollars, while the land was set at 230 Rex dollars. Okay, so I think this has been translated to the side, and then male slaves, the 10.
Yeah.
Tete.
It was because
Modern name Tete from Gadangbe, Do from Ewe, Surumani, North Sudanic, Kanate, Akai, Nate Gadangbe, Ajote or Ajete Gadangbe, Kufio Gadangbe, Danso. Hey, Danso, you were here. I have a friend called Danso, that's what
Akpan, that's my origin.
Akpan, that's your origin.
That's my,
so one of your grandfathers was here. Kwajo, and then Kofi, these are all Akans. And then the pawn slaves.
The pawn slaves, they assisted ones.
Norte, Yan, Koza, Ankama, Odoi, Sewa,
Adum,
Asumeni, Amon, and then Mensa. And the female slaves, Adwa, Okrawa, Akrosi, Ade, Afia, Tolo, Akosia, Do, Yawa, Java, Margaret, Susan, and then Amma. And wow. So I believe then there might be records hiding somewhere of every slave that was ever purchased.
Oh yes, yes. As they handed over, this we were lucky we got this from their museum.
Okay.
They handed everything over to the British. Able to give you even a copy of this.
They will not, even if they have, they will not give you. They will not give you. Because this shows clear identity. Like they will not give you. They will not give
this
you.
Was brought from
and I think that like now a lot of people are using like the DNA to trace their ancestry.
Yes.
If they will be kind enough to produce this, and then every dancer that I know also enters their DNA and all that, then at least when they do the DNA set, at least they can even be linked to their original family. The original family, but I believe they have it. They will never share it. At least, please, if you have it, share it at least, because it is enough. You understand? It's enough. Yes, we know that things has happened. We can't do anything about it, but at least the identity of every person is very, very important. You see, and I know my identity. I know my name is Twum Berryman. I know where I'm from. I know everything about me, but others don't. So at least if there is something like this, please provide it so that we can work on this. I mean, the other organizations that will be glad to work on this, so that like people can connect to their direct family.
Oh yes,
recently, their direct family. It's important.
About 3 or 4 years ago, people came with their names here.
Yes.
And they were mentioning Soa, but the pronoun is Soe, but the writing is Soa. Could you believe they went to La? They were able to trace with their name. They were herbalists. They mentioned somewhere in America.
Okay.
They mentioned it in the town to me. Immediately they came, the senior man among them, when he saw any leaf, said, "Do you know what this is?" I said, "I don't know. I'm also a herbalist, but I don't know." He will tell me. "Do you know what this does?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "You don't know. This does this. This does this." He went round. He said, "That's what he's doing, because that was what their great-great-grandfathers did."
Yeah.
So they were trained to do it. They were able to trace their root to La.
They have to.
Because of Soa. But they didn't pronounce it Soa.
Yes. I think we have to be looking for this, and now everywhere I go, I'll be looking for this, and I think from now, maybe I don't know how long it will take if you ask an organization to get this done, but I think that from today, something will be done so that people can trace their families.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, here, that was the governor's office. That was the governor's office. His writing table, ink was here, used feather to write. That was his handwriting. This was brought from Copenhagen.
Okay.
But this one you can read. It is in English, but this one you can read.
Are people able to read this?
Well, the Danish, I don't know. The Danish.
There should be. I don't know what you're saying. But then,
this is. You
I
can
would
read
still
it.
like to take a picture of this.
Oh, you can take.
And upload this. Anybody who can try to read it should read it.
But the English version is there. English.
And this is the English version. But I would like to see someone reading this.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to post this. I'm going to post a link there. Anybody who can read this should try and read it. Or tell us.
Now, I told you they had working period.
Yes.
So you can see the time they work. But they were given plots of land for their own societies. They were allotted.
They were allotted.
They were. I told you they were treated separately from the slaves. They were treated separately.
Okay. The
enslaved. They were the enslaved.
Yes.
The enslaved workers. So they were master slaves.
Okay.
Sample of the tools
the
they
tools
used.
they were using to work.
And I told you each person was to look after 1,000 coffee trees with interplanted crops.
Okay.
With the medicinal herbs they planted, this was how they prepared their own herb, like we do.
Magnesia, cream of tartar, gum, array, whatever it is. Okay. I see.
Now, this depicts how the soldiers among them, the gunpowder is put here, like the soldiers
do. Waist bag.
Yeah, like you put around your.
Okay, there's the waist bag.
Yes, they have been hunting. They have been hunting.
And there's the hammock.
A hammock. How they carried their officers.
Okay. So that's how they carried them.
Yes, the officers.
They were lying in the hammock, and then the slaves would be carrying
them. Carry them.
I see.
Now they had a recreational center too. Here is their leisure.
Okay.
Here, like a playing ground, leisure time.
Okay.
Like a playing ground.
Yes.
They played spa. The Northerners among them use their guitar. The Ashantis among them use the photophone. While they were smoking their tobacco and drinking.
Okay, this is the pipe.
Yes, the governor's pipe.
Okay.
Yes. And this is the gun you were talking about.
Yes.
This was the gun they sold to our forefathers.
This is how it looked like.
Yes.
So people were exchanged for this.
Yes, that was the original.
This is the original one.
They played here. This is the xylophone.
The xylophone.
When the students come, they play. They can play.
Wow. You are good though. You have skills. You've got skills.
Now we go around the building to see how it was constructed.
Okay.
We go around the building.
Okay. But I just want to find out. Yes. I want to find out
Here.
why.
Let me show you the slave route.
Okay.
Because we'll climb again.
Okay.
The slave route, I told you from here, you get to the junction, you curve,
Yes.
it was named Dufe.
Draben.
Do you see untied?
Yes.
Untied, a car was coming. A car
Yes,
is coming.
I've seen the untarred road.
Yeah, the untied road.
That's the Draben.
Yes, that's the Dufe.
Okay.
Dufe. Then the route passed through Dufe
Okay.
to Akpoman.
Akpoman. Okay.
Abukobi doesn't come. Abukobi wasn't existing.
Okay.
Abukobi was a plantation.
Okay.
So this will take you to
Akpoman.
Then
And
it took
then
you to
boy.
Abraje. No. It didn't go to
Okay.
It will take you to Abraje.
Okay.
Then from Abraje to Agbogba Cemetery Junction. Then from to Kisseman side.
Kisseman.
Don't you see
The Legon. Yeah, I see the
Jimpa,
Legon. The
straight-
Jimpa, the hill, the mountain,
the hill.
and the forest. I see it. So they walk through that
Yes,
side
and then to Caprice.
to Cap Price. Wow.
So that is the route.
So the route has now been turned to the lorry route.
Yes.
So as people are on that road, they never knew it used to be a slave route.
They know.
Okay.
Most of them know.
Yeah, I didn't know until today.
Most of them know.
I didn't know until today.
Most of them know.
I didn't know until today.
When we reconstructed this one too. We as a
Bathroom.
proper use as a bathhouse.
Okay.
So we
They had a bathroom outside.
uh,
Oh, okay. I see.
now this look at how the building was constructed.
Is this the original one?
This was constructed in 1831.
1831.
Likewise this.
Okay.
But we had reconstructed this.
This,
But not this.
but not this.
And look at the shells.
So this is from 1831.
1831.
It looks fresh, like it was constructed 5 years ago.
It's stronger than this one we have.
I can feel it. The stones and the
No cement.
no cement.
You see the shells.
Yes.
From the seashore on the riverside. You see
Yes.
the shells. No cement. You see the shells.
Yes. Wow.
Let's go round.
Okay.
You see the shells.
I see. And the architecture was so strong. They know how to build a defense.
They are slave workers.
Yes, like they build a defense against
to protect
the landslide to make sure that there will not be landslide here and the building
It will be affected.
will be affected. I see. And then they left this space so that in case it rains and
It can
then
flow.
it's draining, when it comes, it will not hit their building
No,
direct,
no,
but it will just flow.
Now, this side, we were lucky. This side didn't fall.
Okay. This side.
Yeah, this side. So you can see their plastering, the original plastering.
This one.
Yes.
This is the original one.
Original plastering.
I see.
You see the original plastering.
Yes. Wow. Why this rough wall? In contrast to the other walls of the building, this wall has, for demonstrative reasons, not been given plaster or quicklime. It is therefore possible here to see how, in 1831, the walls were constructed of stones from a nearby quarry, kept together by iron-rich clay. In the preserved original plaster, it is possible to see remains of the bent shells that the mortar was made of. Okay. I understand. Let me take this picture too, and I'm sure people will watch this and learn. Okay, I see.
All right.
So that ends our tour for the
but
place.
to me, for the day, to me, it's not ended because you haven't been to Source of Hope.
Where's the Source of Hope?
And that we go there.
Okay.
We take
Can we
about
go there
30
now?
minutes. We can go.
Okay. Do we have to walk or we have to go by car?
How do we walk?
Okay.
We walk. We walk through the Canopy Rock. Then from there, in 10 minutes time, we are at Source of Hope.
So
It will
from
take
here
us-
to the Source of Hope, how many?
In and out, it took us about 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Wow.
Or it will even be less. But you are not used to the road, so.
Ah,
But me, I can go there and come within 30 minutes.
I see.
Uh,
So it's not a driving distance. The car cannot go there.
Oh, the car can go somewhere. Because the car can go somewhere.
Okay.
But we have to walk through the bush.
Walk through the bush. No problem. We'll walk through the bush.
The car can just go to a distance, just about 200.
So we are going to the
Source of
Hope.
Source of Hope.
Okay.
Through the Canopy Rock.
Through the canopy. So there's a canopy rock here.
Yes.
Wow. There's a canopy rock here.
We are going, you see,
Okay.
where they hunted. You know, there were trained soldiers among them or hunters among them. So they killed the animals as meat
Okay.
for this. And then for the enslaved workers too,
Okay.
because they fed themselves.
It looks like here the slaves were living in luxury. Yeah, because
I told you they were paid.
Yes.
They were given allowances. They were given allowances. They were given clothes. They were given drinks.
okay. So I want to ask a question. Why did the Danes left? Like why did they leave Ghana? And then
They left Ghana because the British, after they had gained and established America and other places, they said there should be a stop to slavery in Africa.
okay.
There should be a complete stop to slavery.
Okay.
So in 1844, abolition of the slave trade. 1844, abolition of the slave trade
Okay.
was signed. The bond was signed in 1844.
Okay.
Now, it took them 6 years. It took the British 6 years before they accomplished their aim.
Okay. So as for the Danes, the slave trade, they were okay.
They were okay. They were sending them to cross and certain islands,
Okay.
working,
Working.
plantation. So they were all benefiting. But the British said, no, let's
No.
put a stop.
Let's put a stop.
So it happened in 1844.
1844.
But
so let me ask. So the cost for the British to put an end to the slave trade means that they have to buy the forts and the castles that were built by the Danes.
You have to convince me. Then you have to purchase my properties to leave the country for you.
So that you can say there is no slave trade.
Yes, so it took them some years. 1844, abolition of the slave trade happened in 1844. It took them, look, the slaves here were liberated in 1848. 1844, 6 good years. 1848, the enslaved workers were liberated. Those were Agbaben were liberated. If you could find your route, go. If you couldn't, stay on the plantation
Okay.
and work
And work for yourself.
for yourself. That was how this community
started.
started.
Sesame.
Those Agbaben, because of Source of Hope, started moving slowly.
Okay.
Slowly. But before that, no, it was after that. Those Agbaben started moving slowly to join my ancestors. I told you I was a beneficiary.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are also part of the slaves.
Yes, my ancestors.
Yes.
And slave workers. Yes.
Yes.
I was part of it. And
You are
I'm,
part
I'm
of
very
the
proud
slave
of
workers. Okay. Why are you proud of that?
that. I'm proud of that. At least my forefather, or one of my forefathers, was able to, after all this, was able to stay and maintain the land.
Maintain the land. That's what you are proud
Yes,
of.
was able to tell the story.
To tell the story.
Yes,
You are. That's why you are proud. That your
because
forefathers were able to
who?
stay to tell the story, so that you can now tell us the story.
Yes, to tell the story.
Okay.
Because where are those, the Odois and the, where are they?
Where are they?
Where are they now?
I understand.
So I'm very proud.
Yes. History preserved.
Yes.
Through your forefathers.
Yes.
That's a great achievement.
So in 1848, our forefathers started, the guns among them started building sports wall here. Building sports wall, working on the plantation. And then the Guaben people, after 1848, some of them started moving towards them because of the source of food, because of
where
the
we are going.
river. Yes.
Okay. Today we
So gradually. Now the British, when they came, what did they do? Between Dufe and Sesame, here, between Dufe and Sesame, they wanted their presence to be felt. So they too established a small village. They made Chirebrofo. How do you understand it?
Teach English.
Teach English.
Okay.
Chirebrofo.
Is that village still there?
Oh, it lasted to some time. All of them, Jaben, Chirebrofo, had all become Sesame.
Sesame. Okay.
So in between Jaben and Sesame, there was Chirebrofo. So three communities. Jaben, Chirebrofo, and Sesame. But now, Sesame had engulfed all of them.
I see.
You see the picture now?
Yes, I see the picture. It's very clear to me now.
Now, if you want people who stayed at Jaben, some of them are here with us.
Okay.
And now, when the Danes handed over to them in 1850, in 1854, because of taxation, there was bombardment at Accra, Usu and other. You don't know that history?
Tell me.
Because of taxation, Labadi, Osu, Accra area, they said won't pay.
Who was taxing who?
The British were collecting taxes.
So,
said that today our father Mahama has initiated
a tax.
Or what Trump is doing in America now.
Okay, so let me get this clear. The British, they said that slave trade is not good. Let's abolish it.
Yes.
And then to abolish it, they bought all the castles and forts.
Everything belonging to the Danes.
Everything belonging to the Danes.
Yes, they bought.
And the Danes left.
They went away.
While the Danes were here, they were only in doing their business.
Yes.
They were not taxing anybody.
No.
But when the British came,
yes.
and they say, oh, now there is no slave trade, but now we want to tax you. Is it still not for the end purpose of the same business that they are doing?
No, for governance.
So it's like they just rob Peter to pay Paul.
No. They were governance. They were now ruling the country.
Okay, so they were now ruling the country. So
governance.
We have to pay tax. Okay.
Governance. It's governance.
So don't you think that was their motive for buying the fort and castle so that the Danes will leave?
Yes, they wanted to. They wanted to put their foot down.
So the people
they wanted to colonize us.
Okay, so that's the beginning of the
colonization.
So the people of La, Osu,
resisted.
They said we won't pay the tax.
So they bombarded, bomb.
What kind of bomb?
Is it
the one they put like kerosene or petrol in the bottle?
No, but this one bomb.
Look, from the cannon.
The cannon big one.
There is the cannon bomb.
What soldiers when what do we call head of states are coming?
Yes.
When is it?
Yes.
Yeah, what they shoot into the sea. Yes, it's the same thing.
That's what the British used to bombard.
Yeah, they bombarded Osu, Labadi, especially Osu. They
with the cannon.
Yes. So they ran away to Jaben. Most of them ran away to Jaben.
This is cruel.
Yes. most of them ran away to Dufe. At that time, the Mankralo of the of Osu was Norte Mankralo. It was called the Norte Mankralo. They ran away.
They ran away
to Dufe. So Osu people followed them
to Dufe.
To Dufe. Because some of our great fathers were from Osu.
Okay.
So they had it easy to join them.
To join them.
You see?
I see.
So right now, this community is Osu community.
It's Osu community.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Osu community. It's Osu community. Now we'll pass here. Where is your man?
Oh, I think he's ahead.
Come here, oh.
We'll pass where?
We are now going to the Canopy Rock.
Okay. Where is Emmanuel?
Brother?
Kwame.
My senior. It's you I'm calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you? Greet my brother here for me.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm blessed.
He's a best friend. A best friend. I can't call him a migrant.
Okay. I see.
He and the wife, they are best friends to me here.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Nice to meet you. So which way are you going?
we are passing here.
You are passing here.
If from there we'll go to the riverside. So if he has taken the lead, let him take the lead. We are going to the Canopy Rock.
Okay. Wow.
They kill the animals, but you had to preserve them.
Yes.
Like
To smoke it?
to smoke.
They grill it here and all that.
Yeah.
Come and see the griller. Let me stand here so that you can see.
2 weeks or 2 weeks, you have to send them to the castle. Christianborg Castle.
Yes.
You have to send the meat to them there. So you have to smoke at least
Okay.
1 week, 2 weeks.
So this is where they grill it.
Yes.
Wow.
You get it?
I get it.
Now, let's go. We are now entering the Canopy Rock.
Okay.
The museum is on top of this. We came around it. The museum is on top of
On
this.
top of this. We are going to
Straight to the river.
the river of hope, source of hope.
Source of hope.
Okay. So we are going to the source of hope, right? We are going to the source of hope, and I can't wait to see how magnificent that looks. And look at the roots they use to the source of hope. I mean, it's breathtaking. It's a very beautiful landscape, but with some of the histories associated with it, I don't know. But then I think that this is a place you must visit to walk through these places, to experience. It's a beautiful hiking anyway. Yes. You are strong. How old are you?
75.
Wow.
Oh, these people had broke my road.
I think we can still navigate through. Let me help you.
Oh, we'll go.
Okay.
We'll go. Just you do something
Careful.
like this. And you pass through. You pass through.
I'll come.
Use your both hands.
Yeah. Then let me hold it.
Hold it for your cameraman.
Yes, please. Thank you.
All rivers around will get dried.
Except source of hope.
Source of hope.
We are close.
We are there.
Okay.
You see, red danger, red danger.
Yes.
And I told you, people have been coming here secretly.
What's the red danger for?
The cattle.
Cattle.
The cattle. I suspect the cattle. You see? The cattle. It's my boys who have come to do this. It's the cattle.
I see.
This, if not because of the cattle you reach here, you can bath with it, you drink with it, but you have been here today. This is the source of hope.
Source of hope.
The original river.
What is this?
That the people come here,
Okay.
spiritual men come here without
Do spiritual
our
things.
knowledge.
I see.
And I think it's some of them that have come to do this.
Okay.
Because we have to protect the river.
Yes.
We have to protect it. Some people were telling me we have to construct a wall somehow.
I think so. Because, you know, when you get to Picoro, on the rocks, they had a reservoir that they said is like a spiritual reservoir. In the dry season, there is still water in it in the rock. And that's what the slaves were using. You know, the captives in the camp. So they just fetch water from that rock. It never gets dry. It never gets dry. So I believe maybe the Almighty made provision for our people not to struggle that much. So this is the source of hope.
Yeah, Jesus.
I think the name is a true name.
People have become from.
The enslaved people come here to fetch water.
Yes,
right?
there's the water they use to build.
Okay.
This is the water they use to bath, to cook. Everything.
To build, to cook, whatsoever they were doing.
Yes.
This is the source of water.
That name is source of hope.
Source of hope.
We are turning to Sesame.
You have to
Sesame, yeah, means senu. Yeah, means senu.
I'm going to quench my thirst.
Quench the thirst.
Wow. So we've gone through the places, the events, and everything that happened here, and we've seen the different types of slavery that was explained to me and to you that happened here. And this is the route, like those who were captured and enslaved in the north from Picoro to Salaga, and then they came all the way through Ashanti region to the eastern region, and then they entered here. This is the Greater Accra region to this place, Fort Frederiksgave. And then from here they went through the Gempa Road up to the Osu Castle, to the door of no return. At the same time, this place had a farm plantation like for tobacco, coffee, and others that the Danes were producing, exporting, and also they were using to nourish themselves. And here, if you are lucky to be one of the lucky slaves that their names were there, you live comfortably here, farm, have your own piece of land, and then take care of yourself. So we've learned a lot, but for me, one of the striking things that I saw today, like the names and things that were there, and I think that it's about time we start to look for those names. And I believe that those names can lead to like finding your roots and everything back here. So as I'm here, a lot of things are going through my mind, and when I'm sure and certain of what exactly I'm thinking and I want to do, I'll bring it up to you. But then again, my name is Dufe Gabriel, and I'm taking you on the journey that the captured, the kidnapped forefathers, they were kidnapped and enslaved. The journey is the place that they went through. That is not familiar to the media, that you will never find. I'm going to go there and bring you all this content. So keep supporting the channel. Keep sharing, keep liking. Also, if you want to visit some of these places, or if you want a tour to be curated for you, which is not like, I would say, quote unquote, the popular places that you've heard, like those Sioux, Elmina, and those castles, but other important slave sites, kindly log on to www.blackivory.africa, and then you can book your tour from them, or you can talk to them and they'll create a tour to just satisfy your curiosity. So follow me, like, comment as I bring you all the interesting places in Ghana, in the West Africa, about the Atlantic slave trade. And this is the journey.